Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here, continuing my issue-by-issue review for the final story arc on Invincible, the end of all things, with issue number 37, part 5 of the event. Sorry this video is late. June was a very busy month for me, so I couldn't really record a lot of videos at the time. So let's get into this video. Summary of the story is this: Nolan, Mark's father, leader of the Viltrumites, pretty much calls all the remaining Viltrumites who've taken sanctity on Earth at the end of the Viltrumite War and have also begun repopulating the race by mating with certain humans. Nolan calls on them to help defend Earth since Thrag's army is heading right towards the planet. And Thrag has a huge army of Viltrumite alien insect hybrids. Meanwhile, when the Viltrumites do decide to answer Nolan's call and fight alongside him, Mark, and the coalition of planets to stop Thrag's army. But while that's going on back on Earth, Rex, aka Robot, aka current leader of the planet, has used this opportunity to send his drones out to collect the Viltrumite children that they've had with the humans. And that's basically what happens in this issue. Okay. One of my favorite scenes from this issue, I think, was when after Nolan makes the call out to the Viltrumites and Nolan talks to Mark about the Viltrumite Anissa. And during that scene, Nolan finds out that Anissa forced herself on Mark. And that happened in issue 110, and it was a very big moment. It was a very dark moment for the series. After that, Mark didn't tell anyone about it, and I don't think he told Eve until they were living off Earth. And he explained everything that happened. And it was after their daughter was born and everything. And Eve's pretty much the only other person Mark has talked to this about. And Nolan, and after that though, whenever Anissa appeared, there was always like some tension Mark had with her. But now Nolan figures it out. And Mark didn't even tell him. Nolan just kind of instinctively knew. And when Nolan finds out, he's very empathetic towards Mark. He's apologizing, hugs him, and says, "I'm sorry that happened to you, son." And this scene just reminded me, one of the things that I loved about this series was Mark and Nolan's relationship. It is a very good father-son bond that they have with each other, and they both kind of learn from each other. Nolan, he's a pure-blooded Viltrumite, and through raising Mark and stuff, he learned how to be more human. And Mark, his dad pretty much is the reason he has powers, and he also learns from his father about how to be a good leader and everything. So it's a really nice relationship, and that scene kind of reminded me about how strong Nolan and Mark's bond is. Oh crap, I just kind of realized that this means that there's a strong possibility Nolan could die. Okay, that scene aside though, this issue also had a really good opening scene where we actually do get to see all the different Viltrumites on Earth and how they've adapted. Some have been sleeping around, others have actually started their own families, and it's very nice and very human, and they all seem very human and very casual. And when you see these scenes, it's really hard to imagine that these were once cold-blooded aliens that were gonna kill everyone on Earth. Now, while the main plot doesn't really advance much in this issue, it's just basically they call in reinforcements and get ready to attack. The new plot that was introduced about Rex kidnapping the Viltrumite children, I thought that was a nice, brilliant twist added. I figured Rex was going to be involved in this, but I didn't exactly predict that he would be kidnapping children. And it's not really entirely clear what Rex wants to use the children for. Right now, he generally probably just wants to study them, but I really think that he probably wants to either brainwash them or raise them as his own private army against Thrag, or possibly keep them safe so that he could influence them so that one day they'll be his own army for his own personal use. It's hard to say. And I think when Mark is going to find out about this, he's going to help the Viltrumites get their children back, and through this actions, he's going to learn about Anissa's son, who is strongly implied to be Mark's son. So that's probably how they're going to introduce Mark to his possible son. Now, the reason I say possible is because he does look a lot like Mark, but here's the thing though, Viltrumites, a lot of them do have like the same, a lot of them are drawn pretty similar to Nolan, but I mean, there was diversity in there, but Anissa and Mark both like share the same skin tone, share the same hair color, so I don't know, it could be something else, but it is most likely going to be Mark's kid. And I think that is probably going to be one of the biggest developments that's going to happen in this arc before the series ends. But overall, even though I did not predict this idea for Rex, it was completely out of nowhere, and I liked how they used this opportunity to get Rex involved with the final arc for this book. So I'm super excited to see where that's going to go. Okay, this issue did introduce a new plot, which is great. Maybe, hopefully, next issue, if they resolve the whole situation with Thrag's army, then they can deal with the Viltrumite children. So going into like the second half of the End of All Things, dealing with that arc. So overall, I have to say that this arc is still very interesting. This is a terrific final arc for probably one of my favorite comic books of all time. If you haven't read Invincible yet, at this point, just go back with issue 1, start from there. But overall, this was a very nice issue, and I would highly recommend it to Invincible fans. That's it for me. Thank you again for watching another issue-by-issue review. Again, I apologize that this video has been late. Check out the other parts. The first 4 parts that I've already reviewed. Remember to stay subscribed and notified. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.